What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome to the Warframe video. So, I'm holding true to my word, and we have an episode of Anti-Corpus technology before the Corpus Liches come out. Yes, this video and build will be focused on dealing with the future content of Corpus Liches, and just running through those missions pretty fast. If you have not subbed or liked this video yet, make sure you do both those things, and keep the channel growing, guys. Alright, so we're going over the Vermisplicer full crit primary kit gun today. And that's for a couple reasons. First off, I've made two Vermisplicer videos already. We made one on the secondary version, which was full status focused. We also made a video on the max status primary version, which were basically supposed to be new core competitors. Now this one today is fully focused on crit. It has reasonable status, honestly, but yeah, it's fully focused on crit here. And I was actually trying out the Pulmoris grip, which is the newest primary grip for infested kit guns, and it honestly has no reason to exist, really. I would say to go for the max damage version, which is going to be Tremor, which will make it the lowest range. It's basically going to be a melee weapon at that point, but it will also deal more damage. But we're going to show the one we have today. It does work really well, and I've put 4 Forma on it. I'll be using this to speed clear through Corpus missions. There is definitely some bugs with this thing right now where it cannot sometimes not damage nullifiers. So if that does not get fixed, I would not recommend this when Corpus Liches come out. But as I mentioned in the previous video, we're going to be going for Toxin here. And you might notice some weird mods on the build. We have Hammer Shot and Vigilante Fervor. Well, this thing is a beam weapon, so getting some fire rate on there is important. And as you can also see, we have the full set of the Vigilante set bonus on here. So that is going to make it where we can actually get lots of red crits, especially since we are running Arcane Avenger. This is going to be focused on pretty much only primary here, and we can bring a strong melee weapon to kill the Lich, whatever our Lich is not resistant to, because those Liches do get resistances as you keep hunting them. So yeah, just going for high crit to dip on that increased crit chance and the crit elevation from these Vigilante bonuses. We're also going to be showing a mini display of Anti-Corpus Lich Nova here with Helminth. So I would not really recommend running Vigilante Vigor ever. You can definitely run Vigilante Pursuit, but this is just to have the full set bonus here. Because we are running Arcane Avenger, we'll be getting to about 140-ish% crit chance when Arcane Avenger procs, so we have lots of red crits with this thing. And it's Toxin, so it goes directly through their shields. Got Molecular Fission. Whenever we kill an enemy affected by our 4, we get one of our little orbs back, which give us damage reduction. And our Helminth ability of choice is going to be Silence here, and we have actually decent range. Well, not decent. We have neutral range, just so it will actually stun enemies that aren't just right in our face. So this is actually going to make it where the enemy Lich should not use its abilities. This does lock Necromechs out of using their abilities, and I believe it still locks the Kuva Lich out of using their abilities. So this is a very strong anti-Lich ability here. So the Lich will be slowed down by M Prime, and it will also be not using its abilities because of Silence. So that's pretty good. If we wanted to min-max harder, we could definitely go for a shield getting situation here, but I don't really like to do the shield getting cheese setup, so we're just going to go for this. Null Star going to give us damage reduction per orb, 50% with all the orbs stacked up. If you go higher duration, I actually had Narrow-Minded in this slot before. It was a lower ranked Narrow-Minded. It will give you more damage reduction, but it should be fine. The enemies are going to be about level 100. Alright, and that's enough talking there. Let's show how this does against some level 100 enemies. And of course, you could even run the Adarza and have guaranteed red crits. We'll rock that in a second here. Until then, let's just pop just a random assortment of Corpus here. Alright, I'm going to use the third ability from Banshee, Silence, to stun these enemies. As you can see, it just goes directly through their shield, lets you lazily just run around the mission, and this will chain between enemies, making it very easy to kill them. We're running Pax Charge so that we never have to actually reload, and there's not really any arcanes for the kit guns that make you just do more damage. That's what Nova's here for. We are going to use our 4 from the other room over, give all the guys double damage, make them complete jokes. The enemies cannot really hurt us in this situation, and of course, since we have Banshee's third ability, they are going to take some additional damage on that melee as well. So yes, it's very, very good for killing those Corpus Liches, even though they're not even out yet. This will definitely be very, very nice. And alright, so that's enough of that. Of course, if you had a Riven mod for this thing, there is like damage to Corpus you could technically throw on here. But like for the situation in this video, we're going to be showing crit and Toxin. So without a Bane mod, because this thing's not proccing as much stats. You can see 30% with this build, because the Hammer Shot does increase the stat chance slightly. But yeah. So like some other arcades you could potentially run here. Now this Vermisplicer kit gun, it does not really get headshots very often, so I would not recommend running something like Pax Bolt, which on headshot kill you get increased ability, strength, and efficiency. And Pax Seeker is also not going to really proc here. And as far as these other ones, like Residual Malador giving you cold damage when you stand in the puddle, I would not recommend it personally. But, you know, it's up to you. Maybe if you wanted to run the Toxin one, the Residual Vermia, which gives you increased Toxin damage when you stay in the pool, and you could also run... I guess you'd take off Arcane Avenger in this situation, and you would run Residual Malador, I believe it is. We haven't done a video on these arcanes yet, but trust me, they're really bad. It's called Theorem Demulcent, actually. Alright, so this is going to make it where you get increased weapon damage by staying in the zone, and it can stack up to like a decent amount. So let's put on invisibility here, because I'll be standing around in a puddle, and the enemies will be shooting at me, if it even procs in the first place. I can't even see where the puddle is if it did proc, so that's that ability in a nutshell for you. It's 20% to proc. There we go. There's a puddle here, apparently. Okay, I can kind of see it. There's the puddle. Okay, that actually was kind of okay for those guys. There's also another bug with the Vermisplicer where it'll just randomly stop shooting bullets sometimes. So, yeah, unfortunate there. That was one tick. Okay, that's actually pretty nice. But the thing is, do you want to stand in a puddle to get that? That's the question. Do you really want to stand in a puddle? It doesn't look like it's reprocking and resetting my timer, so that is unfortunate. I've definitely seen better, so I'd say just go with Pax Charge. If you want to go down the Mega Toxin route, be my guest. Let's get some gameplay of the Steel Path on the Corpus with this this situation. This is me using a damage and multi-shot Riven as well. Now keep in mind, the Steel Path is like multiplied enemy health and shields. Not like we care about the shields with our Toxin setup, but yeah, this is not, and this is also not full Vigilante here. I was actually using only a couple of Vigilante mods, but this is with Arcane Avenger. Now I'm going to be 100% with you guys. This is not going to be my main go-to weapon for the Corpus Liches, but this will be one of the ones I use if I'm not feeling like using my main one. We'll have the main weapon I'll be using coming out here in a couple days, and it's actually extremely powerful. It's got an entire build set up around it, and it, you know, I use it against the Grenier too, so keep it out on that one. But yeah, this thing is good. Like I said, the Pulmonar's Grip, not sure why it exists, but that it does exist. A lot of the things with, I'm sure you guys have noticed this too. A lot of the new stuff with Deimos, you're just like, why does this even exist? Like, some of those like infested pets, you're like, what is this? Crescent Vulpaphyla? The Predacite that's not the healing one or the Pharaoh one? Like, what is that thing supposed to be doing? Blinding enemies like once every like 10 seconds? The arcanes, like I just said, standing in a puddle for like 15 seconds for some damage that is annoying to keep up. The grips, like what? Like why? Just why? I think it's because not many the people are even like bothering to use them. That is why they are staying that way. But you know, I want to at least try. It does not seem like the range really goes up that much with this grip compared to anything else. So yeah, like I said, I would not recommend it entirely. The chaining on this thing is pretty nice though. And of course, if you don't want to if you're not just doing Corpus, this thing can run. There's the nullifier right there. See, as you can see, it's chaining to the nullifier inside the bubble, but not ticking on the nullifier bubble. So that is an unfortunate bug. I honestly doubt it will get fixed by the time Corpus Liches come out. So maybe be cautious with this thing. If it does get fixed, then go for it. It's very nice. Very, very good for killing the Corpus. Chains through, I believe it chains through walls. Of course, you could just run a Kuva Nucor instead. If you want to run a Toxin Kuva Nucor against the Corpus, or even like a Rad Toxin. Rad Toxin might be good too, because like there are the robotics that are weak to radiation, and Toxin actually has a negative multiplier against the robotics. You could do Rad Toxin. Rad Toxin is one of my favorite go-to Anti-Corpus combos, but you know, like, Pure Toxin also will work pretty well. We'll see if Rad Toxin ends up being better. I definitely have that in my mind as something I would do. I used to actually mod Rad Toxin against the Corpus on my Mesa pistols, but I usually just go Pure Toxin nowadays, like I said. So yeah, would I recommend this to you guys? I'd say I'd cautiously recommend it to you. This is the full crit version with Splat as the the loader, and the grip is honestly going to be personal preference. You can check my gaze video from like a year ago if you'd like to see beam range comparisons. But yeah, it's basically the more range you have, the less damage it deals per tick, and the less, you know, it's basically that's it. So it's also not good against with full tox. It's not good against treasurers, but I don't think treasurers will be an issue. So all right, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. I hope that you found it helpful. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one with all the good stuff, boys. I really appreciate all the support on the channel, and I will talk to you next time. Peace.